Okay, Jamie. So, what do cannibals eat to freshen their breath?
I don't know.
Mentos.
Say it again.
Mentos.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, I love it.
I don't think men's toes would be that fresh.
You just ruined Mentos for me. For men's. Never mind. Well,
Hilarious.
welcome, Jamie. Welcome to the Masterful Morning Show. I am so happy and delighted to bring to you Jamie Allen Bishop. I met her a few months ago out of the blue. I was in another group and doing a random challenge, surprise. And out came Jamie, like her lives just started jumping out and this energy just exuded from the screen. And every time I'd log on, I'd see her lives and it was just beautiful and wonderful. And so that instantly attracted me to her. And then I started looking at what it is she does. And she's like holding up these maps of feet and toes. And I was like, what in the world is this? So super amazing, super exciting. Jamie, jump in and tell us what it is that those maps were about and what it is that you do.
Awesome. Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm super, super excited to be here. Toe reading is what I'm most known for. It is this idea that our thoughts and beliefs show up the way that our toes do, and everything means something. So each toe means something different. Each foot means something different. The way that it twists and turns and calluses and owies and all of it means something. So fun and so weird. And I love it. Quirky, just like me.
That's awesome. And what does the toe reading, how does that incorporate in your the Soul Heart Entertainment, the business that you have? What is it that you're aiming to do in your business?
So there are three legs to that business. One is providing talent to private parties and events. The second one is, I know, right? It's so fun. And we've been doing virtual for 8 years now. So it's this pandemic has been like, oh, thank God, finally everybody knows what I'm talking about. So I don't have to explain it anymore, which is wonderful. But anyway, the second leg of it is coaching aspects. We coach professional services, but of course, anytime we're coaching professionally, we get into the deep, dark personal stuff that's holding us back, right? And then the third leg we're adding on this year, for the first time ever, we're going to start producing transformational retreats in Sedona, Arizona. So I'm so excited about those. And the way that toe reading shows up in that, just to answer your question, is through the private events. Obviously, toe reading is a really, really exciting thing to have people do at your birthday parties. And you know what's really interesting is a toe reader can predict the sex of a baby. So the baby reveal parties in the last couple of years have been a huge thing. So and I've had 100% accuracy myself in that. So that's been super our The other thing, the aspect that I use it in is the coaching aspect, because when our toes house our belief systems, which oftentimes are subconscious. So we don't know exactly what it is that's keeping us from achieving whatever it is that we want to achieve. And so being able to actually physically see it in the toes, so exciting. It's way easier to release if you know what you're dealing with. So I use that, and then I use EFT to release the emotional tie to it.
Oh my gosh, I need to know so much more about this. Okay. So how does this work? I've literally never heard of it until today. Are you looking at the foot? Are you looking at the toes? Are you doing like footprints? What are we doing here? Is it like palm reading? People look at your, I don't know. What are we doing?
Great question. Okay, so it's this, it's literally the way that the toes show up. So if somebody is uncomfortable with touch, for example, I don't even have to touch. I can see an image and hear a description maybe, hearing a description helps a little bit because I know where that person's languaging is coming from and how it's showing up in their toes. But literally, so the big toe means the big picture or our destiny. The second toe is all about our communication and creativity. Sometimes analytical behavior shows up there too. The middle toe is about action and how that shows up in our lives. The fourth toe is about our relationships. That's where the relationship thing shows up. I've been getting a lot of relationship questions these days. And then the baby toes are the only ones that are different from foot to foot. The left baby toe shows up as faith and trust. And the right baby toe shows up as prosperity and abundance. So there's that manifestation toe, is the right baby toe.
So I should really stop stubbing that one.
So what is physically holding you back from manifesting? I mean, every time you reach a certain point, you're physically stopping yourself from achieving more than that. So what is it?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. I just had to look at all my toes and was like, what's going on, toes? Okay. You were talking on the fourth toe about soulmates. Can you tell us a little bit more if people have been asking about? I feel like I have a soulmate right now, but yeah, tell us a little more about what you do there.
Okay, so on that ring finger toe, okay, so that's how you can remember it, is that's where we have our rings on our hands. So it's the ring finger on the toes. That internally is our left foot. Externally is our right foot. So where on the internal side are we stopping ourselves from receiving that person in the external world? So we'd have to look at both the internal side and the external side to see where the stops are, where the vision is. Maybe there's a vision that doesn't quite coincide with both sides, and so that balance hasn't been achieved yet. I've been with my husband for 20 years, so I feel like I have achieved that also, not without bumps and challenges, of course, but we have a really beautiful relationship, very reciprocal, very yin yang, right? But yeah.
Do you ever catch yourself looking at his toes?
Okay. That's a fantastic question. There's two ways to answer that. One is, as a toe reader, as you're going through, so there actually is a toe reading certification. The certification that I went through on the master level was almost as many classroom hours as my actual master's degree for art education. So they don't take it as a joke. It's not, it's a big deal. It's like maybe a Reiki master level certification, or even karate level certification for those who don't even know what Reiki is, right? But the way that oh my gosh, I just completely lost it. Tell me the question again.
I was just saying, if you catch yourself like checking out your husband's toes to kind of get like a glimpse into, maybe what's going on.
Thank you. I don't know why that completely went outside anyway. One of the things that we have to do, even at the very first level of toe reading, is promise and vow to the gods, the universe, whatever source energy, that we won't look at anybody's toes without their permission. So you'll be able to recognize a toe reader at the grocery store during summer, because they're always like, I can't look at everybody wearing their flip-flops. Because it's very tempting, of course.
Oh my gosh.
The answer to that question is, only when he allows me to look at his toes will I look at his toes, believe it or not.
Kimberly is watching live, and she's like, all of a sudden I need my toes read.
Right? It's so fun. It's so fun, but it's very deep. It's not, it's easy to go super, super deep into, the idea that our toes show up the way that our thoughts, feelings, and emotions show up. it's not a mistake that we refer to our feet as our soul, even though it's spelled
Oh,
different.
that's
Yeah,
deep.
right? Ooh.
Oh, there's something afoot here.
Don't make me pee my pants, Talos.
So how does one get into toe reading? Like what? I don't know. I'm just so many questions. What started it off for you, Jamie?
I have hours, we can do this for all day, whatever, right? No, what got me started in toe reading was I was at an event in Scottsdale, Arizona. It was a conference with all kinds of metaphysical, super, spiritual oriented people. This was back in 2005. And I was walking around this event, and of course, there were vendors set up. And there was this big, huge, long line out the door and around the building. And I'm like, what are you people in line for? This has got to be exciting, right? So I follow the line, I get to the beginning of the line, and here is this stunningly beautiful, gorgeous clothes, perfect makeup, beautiful hair woman sitting on the floor. And I'm like, what is she doing? I don't, huh? And everybody's like, oh, I'm waiting for my toe reading. I'm like, toe what? This line, okay, I need to know more. What the heck is that about? And so the Monday following the conference was an all-day workshop, which was an 8-hour workshop. And it was the beginning of the end for me, if you will. I was in my master's program at Arizona State University for education. And here I find this toe reading thing and I'm all in. I'm like, oh my God, that is crazy. And then I found out how accurate it was. And I was like, this is so cool. This is so exciting. So that's how I got into it.
Jamie, is there any little quick facts that you can give us? Like, we're looking at our toes right now. Are there any red flags or things that we should notice about our toes?
Absolutely. Of course. Hello. So if you get calluses, notice, where are you blocking or where are you protecting yourself from getting too vulnerable, to, from getting too in depth over whatever it is, right? So callusing is a big, huge, sign that you're protecting yourself from something. So when you're protecting yourself, you're keeping yourself safe in here, but you're also blocking out everything else that can be coming in, right? So that's one major thing. Another major thing is when you get an owie, when you get a wound, like a cut or something falls on your toe, or on the rare occasion that somebody loses a toenail or, bruises it so badly that it falls off. Notice when the timing of that happens and what's going through your head, because oftentimes this is an opportunity to release something that's not serving you anymore, not serving that highest purpose path in life. So yeah, so if we keep bumping our prosperity and abundance toe, notice what's going through our head at the time that we're having that experience, and or what we're physically doing. The best story on that is girlfriend, boyfriend were moving in together. They were fiance, they were doing everything. They were carrying the bed into the bedroom and he accidentally dropped it on her big toe. That's kind of a big sign, probably not to be sleeping in that bed. Or perhaps, let's just spin it so that it's not, the end of this relationship before it's even begun. Maybe it's we need to release that past before we move on to the future.
Wow. Awesome. All right. Well, you have got us thinking and looking at our toes. I'm curious, where do we go to get more of you and learn more about what you have to offer?
So I am on social media. I am on Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn as Jamie Allen Bishop, or my business is Soul Heart Entertainment. Either place would be perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right. I do have a question. It's going to maybe reveal too much. And I don't know, because this is like a structural thing, but I don't have web toes or anything, but my second and third toe, they're buddies. So they're a little bit more connected to the rest. So that is revealing quite a bit about myself. Is there anything, any insight that you can share that maybe won't embarrass the heck out of me? Or if so.
It's good. It's all good. It's all good. There are two things to that. One, that's very logical and practical, which is that when you take action, it doesn't happen until you communicate it. So they're very closely connected. So when you take action, you need to tell somebody about it. You need to communicate it to a significant other. The two are very closely connected there. The woo-woo side of that, or the metaphysical interpretation, is that you have a very profound connection to spirit and spirit guides. So when there's a piece that's happening for you, either with communication or action, sit with yourself, meditate on it, and be in conjunction with your spirit guides or universe or whatever your belief system is. It's just, you have that connection, and it's a close connection, like you said.
Awesome. Thank you. Wondered that my whole life.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Does anyone have any other questions about toes? I was looking at, oh God. Oh, he put
What can you
his
tell me,
toes up.
Jamie?
I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. You're so funny. You crack me up. All right, Taylor, your action is very future oriented. Did you see how your toe kind of goes out to the outside of you? If it goes toward the big toe, it's kind of past oriented. If it goes to the outside of you, it's very future oriented. So I would welcome you to start noticing your languaging around that. Start noticing how you're putting your action and or the things that you want to bring to you. How is that being kept out in the future instead of in that present moment?
Okay.
So cool. So speaking of that, I have only 5 spots left for laser coaching. I'm not taking any more than that. And that puts me at full capacity. So 5 more laser coaching clients that I'm looking for. So if you guys know anybody or have anybody, I work on I work really mostly with female entrepreneurs who are leaving corporate and finally embracing their magic and creating a business out of it.
That's awesome. Wow.
So exciting.
That was incredible. I feel like we just met, Jamie, so I'm not going to show you my toes, but I appreciate all that I've learned today, and it intrigues me to follow you to learn more. Yeah, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's super fun.
Yeah, yes, this was fantastic.
Yay.
All right.
Nothing like
Thank you,
learning on
Jamie.
the spot, right?
Yep.